Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on? And welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, I would like to not yap because I just actually recorded this video, but it was just a ton of me just yapping about random nonsense. So I would like to avoid that in this video. I would like to try to make this video a little bit shorter. So in this video, I would like to talk about why I do not do any cardio when I'm trying to jump higher. And I know it's going to trigger a lot of people. And you might be thinking right now, well, I'm always trying to jump higher. Do I just never do any cardio? What if you play a sport? Surely you shouldn't neglect your cardio. What if you're fat and you have excess adipose tissue and you have low relative strength and you want to do some cardio to burn some extra calories to get you in a calorie deficit to reduce that body fat to then increase your relative strength and jump higher? You can't do any cardio? So I will say that it is not true that I don't do any cardio, but there are certain phases of my programming where I do higher cardio or higher intensity cardio and higher volume of cardio, and then certain phases where I do low cardio, and then certain phases where I do no cardio at all. So most of you on this channel have heard me talk about how I normally program and run my phases. Normally, I do a 4 to 6 week volume phase, followed by a 1 week deload, followed by a 4 week back off phase. Now, a volume phase is a volume phase. You're doing more exercises, more sets, more reps. It's going to be more taxing on the central nervous system. A deload is going to be about 70% intensity, 70% volume. And then a back off phase is going to be like 40 to 50% volume. So way less sets, way less exercises. But it's going to be 100% intensity, going as hard as you can. I actually follow these same phases with my cardio. So during a volume phase, I do more cardio. During a volume phase, I do higher intensity cardio. Normally, it is HIIT cardio on a treadmill or, that's pretty much all I do. I sometimes do a ski erg, but I hate those. I've done an assault bike before. I've done a rower. Like if I get bored, I'll do that, but mainly I just do the treadmill. And I do 10 sets of 15-second sprints and then 45-second rest. Very simple on the treadmill. Sprint as fast as you can, 15 seconds. Let the belt just continue. Don't even slow it down and just hop off. Somewhat dangerous, but be an athlete. And then I rest 45 seconds. By the time at the top of the minute, you go again. 15-second sprint and then get off. 15-second sprint, get off. And once you do 10 of those, you're done. That is my HIIT cardio that I do. And I do that 2 days a week on Monday and Friday in my volume phases. Because in my volume phases, I don't necessarily care about jumping higher. I want to break down my tendons, muscles, central nervous system. This is where I want to cause all of the damage in a good way. And then I want to rebuild that in my deload and my back off phase. Now, I will say that I don't want to get too far down this road because I could talk about it forever, but in a volume phase, sometimes instead of just doing 4 to 6 weeks of straight crushing your body, because that's a lot, I will go, like I'll undulate, or I'll go, a week of high volume, a week back off, a week of high volume, a week back off. But anyways, I push most of my cardio in my volume phases. Deload, I might do some steady state cardio, but then in my back off phases, I don't do any cardio at all. And the reason is because I've noticed that I jump way higher when I don't do any cardio. If I play a ton of basketball, probably because I'm 33 years old and I can't recover as well. If I play a ton of basketball during a back off phase, my back off phase is less effective. Now, sometimes I might front load the week and I'll do more cardio in the beginning of the back off, but then towards the last 2 weeks of the back off when I want to peak, I'll stop doing cardio. But I've noticed that if I do high intensity, if I do my treadmill sprints, I jump a little bit lower. And this is not even close to, it's not comparable to basketball. Basketball is by far the worst. Now, I do want to say if you're a basketball player, then don't listen to anything that I'm saying right now, except in your off season, right? When you're in your off season, you don't need to be as in shape. You shouldn't be as in shape. You should be focusing on the other qualities like strength and power and velocity and explosiveness and the skill of your sport. Focus on that in the off season. Don't focus on getting in shape and improving your cardiovascular endurance when you're not going to have a season for a long time. Leave that for the preseason and then in season. But anyways, what was I saying? I was saying more cardio in the volume phase, low cardio in the deload week, no cardio in the back off phase. Steady state doesn't really mess me up for my back off phase, so I could be doing that. My steady state is 20-minute incline walks on the treadmill, and I try to avoid those like I try to avoid doing the dishes for my fiance. But hit cardio on the treadmill will have me jumping slightly lower in my back off phase. But basketball, if I play a lot of basketball, that is the culprit that kills my back off phase for sure. Now, if you're younger than me, I'm 33. It's a little harder for me to recover, like I was saying. If you're younger than me, I remember being younger and it didn't matter that much. Like, I'm sure it mattered. Like, I'm sure it did. But when I would have deload weeks when I was younger, I'd be flying. But yeah, that's a story for another day. Don't want to yap. Let me see. What else am I talking about? I do this with my upper body as well. I've talked about this too. But when I do a volume phase for lower, I also do a volume phase for upper. When I deload from my lower, I deload from my upper. And when I back off from my lower, I back off from my upper because the central nervous system is not upper body, lower body specific. So you don't want to be in a back off phase for your lower, but crushing your upper body with bodybuilding workouts during that back off phase, because you could be like going to failure, doing a ton of sets and reps. You could still be fatiguing the central nervous system a lot, and you won't jump as high. So it is good. Like, why wouldn't you want to just stack them on top of each other and follow the same periodization with your upper and lower? Anyways, let me see. What else am I forgetting? Let me talk about excess body fat real quick, because you cannot jump your highest if you're fat. Ask me. I would know. I've talked plenty of times on this channel about 2024, how I got fat and then I got shredded and then I got fat. I didn't really get shredded, bro. I got down to like 210 pounds each time. I got from like 220 pounds down to 210. Then the next time I was like 223 down to 210. Then I was like 225 down to 210. 227 down to 210. This time, the beginning of 2025, I was 230 pounds. Heaviest I've ever been. I tried to do that. It was on purpose. But like, never mind. And then now, what day is it? It is January 13th. And my goal is to make a video at the end of this month saying how much my vertical increased in 1 month and be dunking again. I dunked a soccer ball yesterday, which is like, I can't believe I'm like happy. Yay, I'm dunking a soccer ball. Never thought I would let myself stoop this low. But in 2024, it got to points where I couldn't even dunk a basketball anymore. So as a vertical jump coach, couldn't even dunk a lot of the time in 2024. Anyways, what in the hell was I talking about? I already did this video and I yapped. So like, I don't want to yap in this one. Let's talk about fat don't fly, because I do have that's what we were talking about. I do have a bullet point on fat don't fly. PGF's program to lose body fat and increase your vertical at the same time. It's a good program. I reviewed it on my main channel. But you cannot jump your highest if you have excess body fat. Excess body fat doesn't necessarily mean that you have low relative strength relative to your body weight, but your relative strength would be higher if you had lower body fat. So body fat does absolutely nothing for you. Nothing. Like, it is complete negative to have body fat. The only thing good about it is like, it's fun when you're shoving your face full of food and drinking beer. But then you're ashamed of yourself. So we can't jump our highest if we were fat. But what the hell am I talking about? I'm done, bro. Fat Don't Fly is a good thing to do. It's a good program. The way that Fat Don't Fly runs is he has 2 high-intensity days, so hit cardio essentially on Monday and Friday, and then Wednesday is like a medium day, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday are low-intensity days, like zone 2 days, and that's a good thing to do, right? But I would do that in a volume phase. And then when it's time to back off, keep that at steady-state cardio, or don't do any cardio at all like me, and you'll be jumping your highest. Anyways, I could yap and yap and yap, so I'm done. I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.